Everyone, Mr. Retrospective here, and first off, I hope you all had a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, and I hope Kwanzaa is going well for you. I want to apologize for not uploading anything since August. I've been kind of busy, so I am sorry for that, for kind of being out of it for quite some time. It's like half the year has gone by. A few reasons why. First, I wanted to wait until, I wanted to wait a while after Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces came out. Because after a game comes out, I wanted to give it time to form a concrete, solid opinion on it. Because, when Mania came out, like, critics everywhere were going, "Oh my god, this is the best game ever!" I do like Mania, but I really hate overselling games. Like, Metal Gear Solid 4 is my favorite game ever, but I would never oversell it. Yeah, I would recommend it. I would have a, positive way, but tone down a bit. Just tone down. It's also Forces. Finally got around to this. I do like Mania. Like, after I played the classic games for my videos, like, I've had a better opinion of those games. Like, I noticed things I didn't, before when I first played them. And, all the secrets, like, the lore and the Japanese manuals, and, it really made me appreciate them a lot more. So, yeah, I like Mania. I'm glad I played it. It was worth the wait. I hope we get another game by the same crew. And, Forces was, okay. Just okay. I just have that middle ground opinion. And I was really looking forward to this thing. Like, back in that video I made, like, a year and a half ago, when this and Mania were announced. Like, this is the longest wait for a new Sonic game since the announcement. And it is as mellow and laid back as you could get. And like, Eggman's taken over the world, but we don't really get much of that. We don't see how this affects everybody. We don't see, landscapes, polluted and machines everywhere, like in the bad futures in Sonic CD. Like, this could have used that, but you still have Green Hill, and it's perfect. Yeah, there's a desert in the background, but it's still Green Hill. We've got classic Sonic for no reason, except Generations was well received, and let's pander to the classic fans a little more. It didn't need to be in this. Like, for me, that box game down, they played it safe too much. Like, this should have taken more risks, and that's what I love about a lot of Sonic games. They took risks. They were unpredictable. Like, it's gonna be hit and miss, but when it hits. Like, it is memorable. So yeah, I don't regret playing this. I'm glad I did. It's all right. I would recommend it after a price drop. I understand why classic fans are going crazy over Mania. Why they're going crazy over Mania. Like, it is the game they've wanted to play for years. So congratulations, classic fans. You got yours. And maybe someday we adventure fans will get ours. Speaking of which, I got around to it. And, bought myself a Dreamcast. Yeah. I finally own one of these things. Of course, first game I tried on it. The original Sonic Adventure. The original version. The only one I played was, the GameCube version, the DX. And, I haven't played that since 2010. This is my first time playing the original Dreamcast version, and, those times when you get back to a game that you haven't played in a while and you realize that it's not as good as you remember? This is not one of those times! Man, this game holds up. Like, I'm not exaggerating here. Like, this is still a solid platformer. Okay, so, when a lot of people play this, like, they rush through it. They go through the stories, like, as fast as possible. And for me, like, I want to appreciate every moment I can and, walking the full 3D environment because for the past 7 years, it's been 2D and fixed 3D. Like, we haven't been able to fully explore a world. Not counting Sonic Boom because that sucks. And it doesn't really count, not made by Sonic Team. I loved walking around Station Square. I loved talking to the people. Like, those people have a ton of charm. Like, right after the cutscene where Sonic and Tails are talking, like, you could talk to the women by the swimming pool, and they were listening in on the conversation. That got a chuckle out of me, to be honest. Like, if you talk to people as Gamma, the robot, like, you'll get the cliched but livable line, "Hey man, cool costume." Except for one guy who knows that you're one of Eggman's robots, and he's screaming and calling for the police. Like, I love that. Have a lot of endearing moments. Like, as Sonic, you can walk into, like, the jewelry store, and you can talk to the guy running the shop, and he's going, "Thanks for saving us from that water monster. We're lucky to have you around." Like, that was sweet. That was really nice of them. But nothing's better when you're in, after Tails' campaign, and you're talking to people after you save them from the Egg Walker. And, like, kids are calling you cool, everyone's saying you're their hero. Like, that really gets to you. I love that. That cutscene right after Tails beats the Egg Walker and people are cheering for him, calling him a hero. Like, I don't care what anyone says about the cutscenes, that one always gives me chills. Like, I love seeing that. It has the same effect on me like it did the first time I saw it. I just love this game. It is just oozing with charm and just likability. A lot of people like to point at the early graphics, the sluggish cutscenes, the hit and miss voice acting, and Big the Cat to say it's not good. It's not as good as you remember. In fact, it sucks. You really are nitpicking. I'm sorry, but you are. Like, Big the Cat, the gameplay is fishing heavy, as opposed to, like, speed and platforming. Truth be told, I did enjoy fishing when I got the hang of it. When I was in Twinkle Park and I was catching, like, a bunch of fish, like, I kind of forgot about Froggy for a few minutes. So I was getting the hang of it. It is kind of hard at first, but there is a trick to it. When the fish or Froggy is about to nibble on the lure, just hold down the control stick and hit the jump button, and then you got him. It usually works. So it is the weakest part, but I would say it's bad. It is hard though. Just at first in Twinkle Park, it is really hard. It is frustrating, especially when going for the B rank and the A rank. Later, it is much easier. Like, Hot Shelter, I beat in like 3 minutes. Is that okay, I actually wouldn't mind fishing coming back as an optional minigame. Like, if it would come back, do it like that. Don't put it part of the story. Don't make it mandatory. Like, I like fishing in The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I like fishing in Okami, in Final Fantasy 15. Because, there are a few parts in Okami and Twilight Princess where it is mandatory. You have to do it. But it is more fun there. Also, it is short-lived. And the rest of it is optional. If you like fishing, well, good. We have a lot more in store for you. If you don't like it, it's only there for a little bit. The Biggs campaign is short. Though the cutscenes, like, this is one of the earliest Dreamcast games, let alone the 6th generation, so I'll cut some slack for that. And in later games, in Sonic Adventure 2, like, the graphics do improve. So this is more like a tech demo for the upcoming games. And it does look nice, though. I still like the look of it. I love, like, the landscapes. Like, when the sun is setting or during the night, like, you just look out in the sun. You look out in the landscape, and it is beautiful. Like, as far as, tech demos go, it looks good. It really does. The voice acting, like I said, hit and miss. Like, Ryan Drummond, in my opinion, is the best voice of Sonic, but in this game, he was still getting accustomed to it. Sometimes where I could have used another take, it's Knuckles in this game, I'm sorry, man, like, didn't really work. Voice actor, I'm sure you're a nice guy, but you need I don't know what I was saying. It is a little sloppy. Tails, it's an 8-year-old doing the voices character, so I can be forgiving for that. You need time to get accustomed to this. Ryan Drummond, in later games will improve, and that's by Adventure 2. He really gets to the point where, yeah, this is the best voice of Sonic. Kevin Conroy in Batman. It's like with Dragon Ball Z, the Dragon Ball voice actors. If you're looking back in the Funimation dub in the 90s, when they were still getting used to the characters, the voices there don't age that well. Because they're still getting accustomed. You just need to give them time to really let the characters grow on them. Compare the early dub of Dragon Ball Z to Dragon Ball Z Kai, Dragon Ball Super. Yeah, you'll see, improvement there. Give them time to fully become accustomed to the voices. The 2000s, Jason Griffith was, at first a little sloppy as Sonic. Didn't really click with him yet, but by the time we got to, Sonic Riders Zero Gravity Unleashed, then he got really comfortable in the role, and, he was good. He's a good voice actor. For Roger Craig Smith, you're a good voice actor, and, I think you're comfortable with the role by now, but I really wish they gave you more to do, because the stuff you're given, the lines you're given are not good. Try picturing Roger Craig Smith with the same lines as, Drummond or Griffith. That really cool action hero Sonic, instead of this, cynical, played-out comedy routine Sonic. You can have a different opinion of him, as Sonic. So, yeah, I love Sonic Adventure. This is my first time playing this after going through the classic games. At first, I didn't think of them much, but when I got back to them, they really grew on me. They grew on me fast. And playing the original version of Sonic Adventure has strengthened my love of the adventure games even more. So, I almost got all the emblems. All that's missing are the Chow races. So, I'm gonna take some animal farming before I get to them. Then I'll feel so satisfied that I completed this game. I'm curious about getting Sonic Adventure 2 on the Dreamcast. Yeah, I have the GameCube version, the PS3 version of that and this, but it just feels like a reward. Not a reward, but it feels good to play on the original console. Playing an old console is it's like visiting an abandoned spaceship. There's a history there, a lot of cool stuff happened, and not as many people around because now people are buying this stuff. When you finally get to the old console and just want that love of retro gaming. I would love having a Sega Saturn. I want to try that. This is my first Sega console. When you think about it, it really is. So yeah, love Sonic Adventure. I cannot wait to do a video about that. But it's going to take a while. After Sonic 3 and Knuckles, I'll be covering Knuckles' Chaotix, 3D Blast, 3 of the spin-offs, before the adventure games, Sonic the Fighters, Sonic R, Sonic Jam. It's going to be a little while, but I'm getting back on track to that. A lot of people say that, kind of a bad taste in the mouth when it comes to 3D Sonic. It gives them this meme, we don't have any good Sonic games. That meme. And when you think about it, we get... people say, we finally have a good Sonic game every time a well-received Sonic game comes out. They said it with All-Stars Racing. They said it with Sonic 4, Sonic Colors, Generations. Lost World, decent, it's a mixed bag. And now Mania. I'm expecting them to say this every couple of years. Who knows what we'll get after Forces. I want it to be good. I hope it's full 3D. I'm tired of 2D. I'm sorry. I'm burned out. I'm burned out by 2D classic throwbacks, classic Sonic. Let's take a break from that. Like Sonic Colors, Sonic 4 was like the break after Unleashed and Black Knight when Sega was experimenting. We've got different villains like monsters and demons. And we're going to try new gameplay styles, just to experiment with, like the Sonic twist of it. And a lot of people were getting tired of it. So we wanted to get back to making things simple, like just point A to point B, platforming, familiar landscapes. I see where they're coming from, but I think that's run its course. It's been 7 years since that started. And it's been, 8 years? No, it's pushing 9. It's pushing 9 years since the last full 3D Sonic game with Black Knight. I think it's time to get back to that, like full 3D. I think we're ready. Adventure. Love it. Can't wait to talk about it. The second thing I want to bring... Oh, I forgot. The voice acting of Adventure. Okay. I brought up a few of the voice actors, like other stuff I want to talk about. Like Amy has that Valley 90s girl kind of tone to it. It's a little dated, but it has that outdated charm to it. Yeah, John St. John's Big the Cat voice has that innocence to it. Like character-wise, I don't get the hate on him. He's a hermit, he's just minding his own business, living his life. Yeah, good for him. Just that's it. But the best voice actor by far in that game, Dean Bristow as Dr. Eggman. Oh my god. Alright, I love Mike Pollock as much as the next guy, but Dean just owned this character. Like, the late Dean Bristow, he was so comfortable in this role right from the start. This is the voice of Eggman. It really is. He is over the top, loving every minute of it, even menacing at times. He has this villainous charm. He has this Cesar Romero Joker-esque theatricality to him. Like in that cutscene where he snatches the Chaos Emeralds from Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, then he, boards the egg carrier, does this, adieu, until we meet again, my friends! He even has this giddy laugh in Tails' campaign after you board the egg carrier. He'll speak over the intercom, I guess you weren't expecting that, were you? I was on the floor rolling. Okay, here's a flaw I can give you. Why doesn't this have a theater mode? Because I always do that over and over again. But despite Tails' final stage speed highway when he's racing Eggman to the missile, if you run past him, he has this innocent sound like, Tails, wait! And while I'm playing, I'm well, alright. And no, I'm not falling for it, Dean. Not falling for it. Despite all that charm, all that comedic, personality, when you're about to fight him in the Egg Walker, he does this evil, intimidating voice like, you fool, away, before I make mincemeat out of you. That is intimidating, man. That does make the boss battle a little scary. That helps give it some dread. Yeah, the late Dean Bristow, wonderful Eggman. I'm glad I replayed that and really looked at what I forgot from playing it a few times in 2010. Okay, I think that's everything. The other thing I want to bring up is why I've been absent for a while. I've been upgrading my gear. When I started making videos way back in 2016, I was as cheap as you could get. My microphone was a $30 USB mic. It was small, the cord was shorted. It was pretty much a beginner's tool. That's what I was going for at first. But I upgraded. So I got myself this condenser mic. It really puts a lot more bang to it. In order to use this kind of mic, I've had to get something else. Let's go. See? This is needed this studio interface, the Complete Audio 6. And I am loving this. Like, it pretty much connects to everything. These audio monitors through these bulky TRS cables. Like, the microphone connects through XLR cables, which fit in here. At first, I had a Line 6 studio interface, but it didn't work. So I had to return that and use this. I am loving this. I am loving this, loving this, loving this. You see the soundproofing with the foam I've been doing, the ceilings there by the green screen. By the way, I got a green screen. Yeah, at first there were no padding. Just loud, just as loud, echoey voice from my earlier videos, which do not sound good at all. So I'm taking tips from voice actors, like with the soundproofing. So far, it's working well. I also bought myself this MIDI keyboard, the MPK 249. I bought this thing because, hold on. There we go. Yeah, a few months back, I was filming for a short film where I would parody, tropes in slasher films. Alright, so I bought myself the MIDI keyboard because I want all the music, or in my case, background noise, to be all my own. Like, I don't want to borrow music from, don't want to borrow copyrighted music from composers. Like, I want my films to be all mine. So I did make a portfolio channel. It is a little light, but more is on the way. But you guys have waited a while for the Sonic 3 Knuckles video, and I'm gonna deliver. But I can't guarantee when it'll be ready. So I don't want to rush my projects anymore. Back when I would make the earlier videos, like as soon as part 1 was done, I would upload, publish it, and then start part 2. Yeah, okay, except if it's a long project's gonna have like 10 parts. If it's just 2 parts, then I'll just wait till the whole thing is completed, then upload them one at a time. Because I don't want to rush my projects anymore. As I'll do it when they're ready, when they're perfect. Because looking back at my earlier videos, don't hold up. No, I want to be more professional with my videos. Okay, aside from improving the hardware, I also need to improve myself, my voice. Recording my lines was always my least favorite part. I wasn't really comfortable enough. I also hated making mouth noise. When the saliva in your mouth snaps, you hear this clicking sound, and it's so annoying. Fortunately, you can get rid of them in Adobe Audition. That's helpful, but it is preferred to speak your lines perfectly so you won't have to. Because if you edit them, if you try to get everything out, you'll run the risk of, botching, the audio. And you'll hear that in Sonic 3 Knuckles video. Yeah, I'm still, improving. While I'm making these Sonic videos, I'm also learning how to shape myself to be better in editing and in recording. And I do want to keep making these videos. I love looking back on these games, and I want to talk about this. I really do. I want to talk about this game. And I'm going to love talking about it. So there is a voice acting expert on YouTube. His name is Bill DeWeese, I believe, who gives you a tip on improving your voice, reducing mouth noise, preparing yourself before recording audio. Like this is a tip he gave me: the extra minute long-lasting experiment. Just chew it for like 20 seconds, then spit it out, and the sour taste will help reduce that. I also need to be aware when I'm speaking. Like, At first, I was just, go off, rushing through my lines, saying whatever, and I wasn't paying attention. That's why, I make clicking noises. I need to be, conscious of all this, and be more in control of when I speak. Because I really want to stop that habit of just making the annoying clicking sounds to sound more professional, to sound clear. I also have another problem. At times, I kind of sound like Cobra Commander. A G.I. Joe or a Robot Chicken, where he keeps putting so much emphasis on the S. You see that clip when he's at the drive-thru with the other bad guys, going, "I'll have a small Sprite!" And everyone's just making orders that has an S in it. He's getting angry. "You're doing this on purpose!" You'll hear that in the upcoming video. Or, I don't pay attention and I make that loud S noise. I am working on that. I'm trying to improve myself to, make better videos. Maybe I am improving a little. Also, not to speak too quickly. At times, I also get too excited. I need to control that. I really do. So, putting that away. The last thing I want to bring up is, I don't do this for a living. I am not a YouTube personality. I still work my part-time job where I push shopping carts and clean bathrooms. I studied, digital arts. I have a major in digital arts, video, and audio back in college. I had a good GPA. I graduated. I have a diploma. It's still hard to find a job. So I came to the realization that you can be a straight A student. You can, graduate. You can have a diploma. You could, excuse me. So you can study hard. You can work hard. And still not be qualified to get the kind of job that you want. And my problem is that I wasn't really experienced enough. That's it. Back in college, I was afraid of failure. So I just relied on the professors to teach me, how do you do this? How do you do this? And I shouldn't have waited so much. I should have researched how to do other projects, in my spare time, to really be comfortable with this. Because sometimes I felt like I didn't know what I was doing. So you need to have that tenacity to get the kind of job that you want. So don't be too nervous. Don't be afraid of failing. By all means, fail. Fail. Try a project, get it wrong, but learn from that. That's what I should have done a while ago. I know some people are afraid of failure because they'll be criticized by people. Like, people say, "But you don't know how to do this? Are you for real? You should already know this." Don't be afraid of that. If you're learning how to use Adobe Premiere or Photoshop, stuff like that, don't wait for the professor. Do projects of your own in your spare time. Get as much experience as you can. But still, get good grades. Grades are important. Grades are important. But also is experience. So I'm going to keep uploading more in my portfolio channel to show that I am experienced enough. I can't guarantee that I will get a decent job by next year. Only half of that is in my control. The other half is up to the employer. So it's not a guarantee, but I can work hard to be qualified for that. There's a saying, someone's always going to be better than you. It is a competition. It is rough out there. But still, try hard. Keep improving yourself. Be the best version of yourself. I'm 26 and I still work my part-time job, and Like, I don't really care if I have to wait till I'm middle-aged to finally get to where I want to. Like, it will be a long journey, but I'm going to learn so much. I'm going to keep improving. Like, by the time I'm 40, I really do want to be the best of myself. Like, in, filmmaking, in editing, in, in martial arts, in, recording, in just being a better person. I want to keep improving. Just this constant improvement. I want to go through that. It will be a while, but I'm capable. I can do that. And so can you. Like, there are times when you'll feel discouraged. Or you'll be, depressed. Or you'll think that you're not good enough. Or something like that. But don't think of it like that. Don't think that you can't do this. Think of it as you being a work in progress. There's a saying that my grandmaster taught me when I was studying martial arts in college. Everyone moves at their own pace. Like, if someone your age or younger than you has made it to their goal, they're making a living off of it, everything's going great for them, it's not because you're dumber than they are. It's just that you go at a different pace. Like, be happy for them. They worked hard. Like, the same thing can happen for you. It will take time, but it'll be worth it. It'll be so worth it when you're finally there. You have your dream job. You're happy. Yeah, it can happen for you. So what if you're a little late than other people? Like, that doesn't matter when you're finally there and you're happy. Just keep thinking about that. You can get there. Like, it's not really a time limit. Like, if you don't get here in a specific amount of time, then you're done. Like, relax. Just relax. So that's what I want to do. So, I'm making a pledge. I will improve myself. I will be better in filmmaking, in editing, in recording, in being an overall better person. 3 things I'm going to live by. Heal from the past. Enjoy the present. Enjoy the future. I want to keep doing this. I want to keep making videos. I want to keep just building myself to be better. Like, I want to let go of just being lazy, back in the day. Like, I shouldn't care about that anymore. Like, that's done. I can't go back in time and tell myself to, shape myself up. All I can do is move forward. I just want to move forward and improve myself. I'm aware I'm saying the word improvement a lot in this video, but you know what I mean. So, thank you for watching this video. You hope 2018 will be a good year for you. I'm going to start making it a good year for me. And before the end of this video, I have a preview for the Sonic 3 Knuckles video. Okay, I will get back to working on the 3 Knuckles video. After that, I'll get back to side projects for my portfolio. I'll cover like Knuckles' Chaotix. And there are other stuff I want to talk about, like the Rebirth of Mothra trilogy. I've always wanted to talk about these. I want to make a video about them. So these are some underrated kaiju movies, and if you haven't seen these, I recommend it. Like, I'm love talking about these. Like, I also love making movies about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because I'm a huge fan. But still, it will take some time. It'll take some time. I'm gonna be patient with all this. Just to work on this one step at a time, because a problem I had back then was that I thought, filmmaking, editing, I thought it was all one complicated thing. It's not. It's a few simple things put together. Like my Sonic videos. Part 1, writing the script, recording gameplay footage, recording my lines, editing it all. It's not that complicated. It's just simple things in steps. So, I hope 2017 was a good year for you, and hope 2018 will be a good year also. Till next time, let's dive in and see the new year. Before everyone knew it, the beloved fourth generation of video gaming was coming to a close. 1994 was the beginning of the end of the 16-bit era, as well as the start of the 3D era. In Japan, the rest of the world had to wait a year. 1994 also marked one of the strongest years in video gaming. Developers were going all out and making some of the most critically acclaimed games ever made. Super Metroid, Tekken, Final Fantasy VI, or 3 if you want to be old school. Some games broke new ground with revolutionary technology, such as Donkey Kong Country's pre-rendered design, and Killer Instinct being the first arcade game to have an internal hard disk drive, allowing it to carry more data and have better detailed graphics. Many people remember the look of the fourth generation for its clunky and primitive sprite animation, but down the road, it proved how bulky and expandable it was. The Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo were pushed to their limits that we didn't know they were capable of. Vector Man and Super Mario RPG blew everyone's minds. Further games would utilize 3D graphics, and without optical media like in the Sega CD. You can do this on a 16-bit console. That is impressive. I'm not just talking about graphics, mind you, but how innovative these people were in bringing the 16-bit consoles to their full potential, and ending the fourth generation with such gusto. Just because we're moving up to the next step in evolution, that doesn't mean we shouldn't bother to see how far we can take current hardware. As you'd expect, Sonic the Hedgehog took part in that as well. After finishing Sonic 2, the Sega Technical Institute in the United States went straight into production of 2 new installments. Yuji Naka negotiated with Sega to work mainly with the Japanese members of STI, in order to avoid conflict with differing work customs. Given time, Sega agreed, and granted him the authority as producer of the sequel. The American members of STI would work on the spin-off, Sonic Spinball. Sonic Team veteran Hirokazu Yasuhara took the liberty as director and lead programmer of the game. To my knowledge, key Sonic creator Naoto Oshima was not involved in the development of the sequel, and that's a shame. Wouldn't it have been so cool if the trio who led the development of the original title went their separate ways and then finally reunited for this game, which is the grand finale of the classic era? I mean, things would have gone full circle. Oh well, even though they were split, Naka and Yasuhara did have a ton of respect for Oshima. If you input his birthday in the sound test in Sonic 2, you'll unlock Super Sonic, and if that doesn't say respect, I don't know what does. Development for this game was the first for a few certain people who stuck by the franchise afterwards. Artist Chris Sen will later be involved in the cancelled Sonic Extreme. Composer Howard Drawson will score the 1996 album Virtual Sonic. Lead guitarist of the band Crush 40, Jun Sonoe, contributed as sound designer. And lastly, the current head of Sonic Team, Takashi Iizuka, worked under Yasuhara as senior game designer. The sequel was planned to be Sega's most ambitious game of its time. They aimed to put a much larger focus on the story as a way to expand on the world of this franchise, in order to, and I quote, make the project huge. Originally, Naka wanted it to be an isometric pre-rendered game that would utilize the SH1 chip produced by Hitachi, as a way of combating Nintendo's Super FX chip. Sega informed Naka that such a title wouldn't be ready by the deadline, prompting STI to make another 2D game. And besides, the isometric pre-render thing would stray a bit too far. We'll see in a future episode. While they didn't roll with the pre-rendered look, 3D models were worked into the game to make it look like a bigger deal. The sequel was also planned to be twice as long as Sonic 2, but due to time constraints, they had to split the game into 2 halves as separate installments. But for most people, they're one solid game.